So today I pumped up the bicycle and I realized that there's an issue. After about 2 hours of it being fully inflated, I noticed that the tire went flat. So I'm gonna do a little bit of troubleshooting and see if I need to replace the entire tube or if I could patch it up and get it running again. We'll see. Okay, so I have a 1/2 inch wrench. I'm gonna go ahead and see if this wrench is gonna fit. No, a 1/2 inch is too small, so I might need to get, let me see, maybe a 5/8 will work. We'll see. Or maybe a 9/16. So I picked up a 5/8. I don't know if you can see it. And a 9/16 wrench. See them both right there? I think it's upside down. You can see it? Okay. So I'm gonna try those and see if they'll fit. Alright, so we'll try the 9/16 first. And the 9/16 won't fit. Try to fight. And there we go. We got a fit. Got a match. So it's the 5/8 that's gonna work. So you see right there, 5/8 is the one. So now I'm gonna go ahead and remove this tire. Just like so. Remove this nut, and then there is a washer in there. You can see them right here. See them? And this washer has a pin right there that goes into here to lock it inside there. Alright, I'll put that to the side. And then on the other side, it's the same thing. We'll just go ahead and remove this 9/16 nut right there. You see the nut right here that I'm removing. And then you can see the washer right here. And again, this is it. It's a lock washer, but it's a washer. But it does have this little piece right here. You can see it. That goes into this hole right here. So that when you put on the nut and you turn it, this locker washer will stay in place. Alright, so there we go. Got the washer, both washer and nuts off. Put them to the side. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the tire. Remove the tire from the bicycle. And that's pretty easy. Just lift up and you can see the opening right here. So I'm going to move it from, just like so. And if it's caught at the top on the brakes, you can just press in the tire. And there we are, tire removed from the bicycle. Now I don't want to put this fork down in the dirt, so I'm going to put it over here on the concrete. So now that I removed the tire, I'm gonna let you see what it looks like. So I just put it right there up against that stool for the time being while I pay attention to this tire that I removed. So now that I have this tire off the bicycle, or this wheel off the bicycle, I'm going to go ahead and remove the tire from the rim as well as the tubing on the inside and air it up and see where the leak is. So I'm going to go ahead and take off the cap off the valve stem right here. You can see it. Moving this cap from the valve stem right there. And I'm going to put it somewhere secure so I don't lose it, and somewhere where it's clean as well. The next thing is I'm just going to go ahead around the tire, around the rim, somewhere right here. You could use a tool if you want to, but I'll just use my bare hands to remove this portion, a portion of the tubing right there. A lot of people, I've seen people use spoons, fork, or even the same wrench that you use to remove the tire. But I'm basically just getting the tubing, a bit of it off, right, like so, from underneath. So here I have this wrench that I'm going to be using to just run around to get this tire out of this tubing. And I'll go like so, pull up the tire, pull it up. You can see right there, there's still a piece sticking out right there. I know you can see that. And then from there, all I'm going to do is just run this around the outside like so. And you see it's coming off quite easily. Just like so. And there it is. You can see that one side is off. And so with that, it's just easy now just to move the tire and the tubing like so. And last but not least, as you can see right there, the valve stem, just gonna pull it out or push it out from the rim right here. You can see it right there. Just push it out like so. And then now we have the tire right there and the rim by itself sitting out here as well. So now we have tire and rim. And then all I'm going to do next is put the rim again off to the side and away from all the dirt. And then just grab the tubing that's inside the tire right here. Is the inner tube. And I'm going to check for any air leaks and see if it's small enough for me to patch it or if it's too big to where I need to buy a new tube. Now it doesn't seem like it's a big hole because I can still feel some air inside the tube. You can see it as well, slightly inflated. So I'm gonna go pump it up and then see what happens. So I've made a soapy solution right here, and all it is just soap and water. That's all it is, nothing else. And with that, I'm gonna test my tubing. No, I couldn't find the pump, so what I did was I'm just gonna have to use the one from the car to pump up this tubing. And here it is. I mean, these things comes in very handy. I can use it to pump up my car. Slime. And there you go. I'm just gonna put about maybe 15-20 psi of air in this tire and then see what happens. So it uses a cigarette lighter, and for me, I have one here in the trunk of the car. So it's pretty, comes in pretty handy. Now the tube is right here, and now all I have to do is, and again, here is my pump. It's got a light on it. That means we got power. See it right there? And I just got to turn it on, and it's going to make a loud noise, so just be aware of that. When I turn it on, it's going to make a loud noise, and all I have to do is just connect the trunk. Almost shut down on me because the wire was dangling underneath. So all I'm gonna have to do is just get this valve stem right here, and I'm gonna connect it to the pump right here, like so. And then pull down on this tab to lock it in, like so, pretty much. And then all I gotta do is just, I'm gonna press that power button right there. You can see it right here. It's power button on the pump, and you can watch as this tire should inflate real fast. Look, just like so. See that? And I turn it off. I think that might be enough air, and that's what that was. What? Not even 10 psi of air, but as you can see, it's holding air. So that's why I know that whatever leak there is nothing too serious. So there it is. Now I'm going to take it down into this soapy solution, put some of the soapy solution on it, see what happens. Put some more air in it and double check it. Check it again. See if I see where the air is coming out. Still no indication so far where the air is coming out. Oh yeah, there it is. I feel it. Now I know where it's at. Now I see where the air is coming out. Let me see if I can show it to you. Yep, I see where the air is coming out of. So if you look closely to this tire right here, if you look closely right here, you're gonna see where the hair is coming out. Look at this. See that? So that's where it's, see all that's just pushing out right there. So we found the culprit. We have found the culprit. This thing is not focused. Come on, focus. All right, right here is where it's at. And again, let me put some of this. So you see right there, that's where it's coming out of. You see that right there? So there's the hole right there. So now that I found the hole, I'm just gonna mark it and then go get a patch from the store and see if I can fix it. This phone is not focusing. Why not? I don't know. But the hole is right there. Right here. Right in this crease right here. So I found a hole and it's right here. So right now I'm just gonna go to the store. It's right here. Go to the store and buy a patch for this bicycle, and then come back and patch it up and see what well it works. All right, so I'm heading off to the store. It's right beyond the. And you can look at this valve stem too. If you look at it, you see some cut marks right there. It's beyond the brass. so it's not really leaking there. However, you could tell that either it wasn't installed properly or it was loose, or whatever the case may be. See the damage? That might be one of the reasons why the hole appear right here. And you could also see the crease that goes around, so it tells me that something wasn't right with it. But I'll go ahead and patch it up like I say, and then see how well it works. All right, I'm now in the store and I'm looking around. I see some bicycles, and there are other parts for a bicycle seat, pedals, reflectors, you name it. But I'm looking specifically for a patch. Now they also have tubes, and it would be easy to buy a tube. $6, anywhere from $6 to $20, depending on the size tube you want and the kind of tube. However, I want to do this patching work, so I'm gonna get a patch and I'm gonna go home and patch up my bicycle tube. Now I see this patch, and this is the one I've chosen, and I'm gonna take it home and see how it goes. So again, I have the patch right here. I'm not going to take it out the wrapper until I'm ready to put it on a tire. We marked the spot right here where the hole is, and so now we're going to prepare it. Get my cloth and I'm cleaning the area, and then once I'm through cleaning the area, I'm going to get a sandpaper to make it a little bit rough so that this patch will stick to it much easier. So you see, I cleaned it properly, and I use the sandpaper to clean it up as well. So now that I've prepped my tubing, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this patch from the wrapper that it's in. You remember earlier when I said that I was going to use a spoon or a screwdriver or something to assist me to get the tubing out of the tire, or off the rim I should say, out of the tire and off the rim. Then these comes with the repair kit, and these are what you would use instead of the spoon or the screwdriver. Now the patch that I bought, as you know, is a peel and stick patch, and it comes with 6 of them in there. Now this is it right here. I know it looks kind of like tiny and skinny and flimsy. We're more used to the ones that are the same material as the tubing, which is rubber, and they're usually black, and on the outer circumference is red. But this is what they have right here, the peel and stick, and this one should work perfectly. They say it's as strong as any you could find on the market. Now, like I say, I prepped my tubing already, but I'm just gonna give it one last rub down before I put on this patch. So I'm gonna go ahead, peel the patch like so. It's just a piece of plastic, it seems, and then I'm gonna put it on the area where the, just like so. That's over the area where the tube is leaking air because of the hole in it. And that's it right there. On the wrapper, the instruction states that once you put these patch on the tire, you can just pump it up and drive away. Normally, when I put a patch on a tire, I usually let it sit for at least 30 minutes. or up to hour and a half before I actually put air in it to ensure that it's fully sealed. But for this one, since the instruction states that I could just put it on there, air it up, and go right in, I'm gonna air it up, and then just to check it to see if it's still got any leaks. Then once that's done with, I'm gonna go ahead and let the air out, of course, and then put the tubing back into the tire, and hopefully it works. So here we go. I'm connecting the valve stem to the pump, and again, this pump is for my car, and of course, like I told you earlier, it's gonna make a bunch of noise. The pump is already plugged in right here in the car. It's got one of those cigarette lighters in the back as well. And then I'm gonna go ahead, you see the pump right here, I'm gonna go ahead and start up the pump. It's gonna make a lot of noise, so just remember that. Now there was no power, but I just turn it on, and here we go now. Now I have put 30 psi of air in it, and now you can see it. You can actually see how this portion of the tire or the tube is a bit smaller than the rest of the tube. But there it is right there. Let me remove this cloth that I used to wipe it off. Stuff for the wrapper, I'll clean up when I'm done. But there's the pump. It's still attached to it, but you can see it right here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back on the inside, and I'm gonna put this tubing back into the soapy solution to check for any leaks before I try to put it back on the bicycle. All right, so I just turn it on and then just disconnect but you can see there it is. Let me go test it now and see what the deal is, if it's got any leaks. Well, you can see down here, like I say, I don't know why that portion of the tube is a bit smaller than the rest of it. I think maybe it was crumpled up inside the tire and as well as the rim, and that's the reason why it's like this, because you can see like these little marks on it as well. Now sometime when you put the tubing in, if you don't seat it properly in the rim, things that will happen, because I noticed that when I pulled it out, it was actually at an angle, and like I showed you, if you remember earlier, I was telling you that if you look right here, you can see some damage right here in the valve stem right here, and on this side as well. So maybe when it was installed, it wasn't seated properly, and it damaged it, and over time it started leaking on this side. But when I put it into today, I'm gonna make sure it goes in straight and everything is good. But now I'm gonna go put it in that soapy solution again and see if I get any more leaks. So now I'm taking the air out of this tube, deflate it all the way. I'm balling it up like that because I'm just squeezing it so that the air will come out. Try to get it as flat as possible, or as deflated as possible. It's pretty deflated right there. So now I'm gonna get my rim, put it back in there. And again, like I say, here's the hole right here on the rim. You see it right here, where the valve is gonna go in through. So that's the part I want to put on first. I do have my two little tools that I got out of the kit. Now for the tire, here's the tire. I just check around in the tire sometime too, just to ensure that there's nothing in the tire, like I'm feeling inside, that there's no, like, maybe, you know, there could be like a little tack that went through and I didn't see it, and it's on the inside also, and it's actually puncturing the tire. In this case, the hole that I found was on the outside, so it could be a possibility, so I just check. Most of the time it won't. It's not like with a car tire where you pick up a tack and it actually stays in the tire for a long time. Usually for a bike, you will definitely see it, definitely. And because the bike tire is much thinner, then obviously it would do damage much faster, and so you would notice it more. No, so I'm putting in the tubing into the tire. Just put it down, so it's much easier if you have it flat on the ground. You could just put the tube into it like so, just working your way around. There's not any need for the tool at this moment. Just ensure that you put it in there straight and it's not twisted, because if it's twisted, once you air it up, it's gonna damage the tube. Now after releasing all the air and getting the tube into the tire, like so, the next item of business is to get the tube with the tire onto the rim. So now I have like one side of the tubing in the rim, and now I'm working my way. I'm actually using my tool, the tool that came with the repair kit, to get the tire in. And we just got a little bit left. Let me turn it around this way so you can see it. And then I'm just putting my tool right here. I had it underneath it just now, like so, between the rim and the tire, like so. And I'm just working my way around. Almost done with this side, so I'm just working it our way around, and you can see it right there. Almost there. And there it is. It's complete now. There it is. So I just need to go put some air in it, air it up, and see how well it's gonna turn out. So let me turn it around right there. I'm just gonna go air up the tube, air up the tire, as you would say, and come back and see how well it's gonna operate and how long it will last. Again, I gotta go down to the car because I still haven't found my hand pump. I'm not certain where it's at. I know I had it with a soccer ball or the football somewhere here, but I see the ball, but I didn't see it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go pump it up by the car and then come back up here and try to put it onto this bicycle. So I found it on a tire right here. You're probably not able to see it because of the lighting. Well, let me take it out here. On the tire right there, it says to inflate to 40 to 60 psi, and I inflated it to 45 psi, so that means it should be good to go right there. See what it says? Inflate to 40 to 60 psi, and I put 45 psi in there, so it's on the low side obviously, but it should be good to go. Now I clean up my tire and rim, and I have my 4 items that I'm gonna put it on with: 2 nuts and 2 washers. And I got my bike cleaned it up a bit too, so now I'm ready to reinstall it. And I also have my 9/16 wrench right there, so ready to go. And by the way, I do have my ear chuck that I use to measure the psi of air that is in the tire right there. Okay, bit of dirt on my hand, but that's how it is when you work. You'll always get a bit of dirt in your hand. You know that is. You know how that goes. So I'm gonna grab my tire, and again, I'm looking at the top portion where the brakes are. Gotta just squeeze the brake in, disconnect it for a moment, and then I can go ahead. See, I disconnect the brake for a minute, just lifting this out of the clip that it was in, and then now I can get my tires back where they need to be. Right there, see right here, right there, and right there, like so. See where it goes in on this piece that is threaded. And I can come back up here right away, or I can do it later once I get the nuts in and reconnect my brake. But once again, remember we gotta have the washer, and it's gonna lock into this hole, so it goes over the axle that comes out and has the threads on it. You put it over it and into that hole right there, so it locks it in right there. Then you get one of the nuts and you put them on there right there. Just putting this closer so you can see it. So this, and you should be able to start a nut. Sometimes you can go almost all the way with it, and this one is loose. It goes all the way. So once I'm done, I'm gonna tighten it up. But before I do that, I'm gonna get the other lock washer. Right there. And the nut. I'm gonna put those on the other side, obviously. So now we are here on the other side, and it's basically the same thing. We get this lock washer right here, and let me see if I can get it closer so you can see. Yes, you'll see the hole right here. The lock washer is going to go in it, and of course it's going to go over the threaded piece of the axle right there, like so. And then you got your nut. You just put it on, and just ensure that it's going on freely with your finger, otherwise it's cross-threaded and you don't want that. All right, and these are what we call righty-tighty. Then you just get on there with your wrench. Oh, this is the wrong one. This is the 14. I grabbed the wrong wrench. I had that one to help me. Now here it is right here. Like I say, it's a 5/8 wrench. And then you just go ahead and tighten it up. And you want to get it tight, but of course you don't want to keep turning till you strip out the nut. Now that side is good to go. Come into the other side right here, and it's basically the same thing. Just tighten it up. I already put it on with a finger. Make sure it's snug, and then I'm tightening it up with the wrench. Now I deem it tight enough, then I'll go ahead and go to the brakes I don't want to strip it, of course. So now the next thing is I'm gonna come back up here and reattach the brakes, because remember I had take it off just so that when I get the tires in, they could go in between the brake shoes. So now all I gotta do is just squeeze this in. Probably high. Then all I gotta do is just lock it in place like so. You see the cable is running right here, and then there we go. I can check my brake too to make sure it's working. See that? And then just one last check, just ensure that the brake shoes are actually on the rim, not on the tire itself, like so. So sometimes people adjust it and they put it on the tire, and what happens is over time it will tear up your tire. And now I'm just double checking, still got the air in it. That's it. And as I'm here talking to you, I realized that I left out one important step. Let me go back and check it out real quick. So the step that I left out was not putting the cap on the valve right there, and I left it right here. So here it is right here, and so I'm gonna put the valve back onto the, and it's the same thing when you, I mean, anything that you're doing that has threads, you just want to put them on, ensure that you can put it on with your fingers and it's not too tight. All right, if it's something brand new it might be tight, but something that's been used for a while should be good. So there it is now. So yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for sticking with me and watching the video. For me, it was an easy task. I mean, I can say it because I've done it more than once, and of course I had all the tools, the correct tools, that is, to get the job done. So it was pretty easy. You could also get a brand new tube for like $6, and you say, okay, why wouldn't I just go get a brand new tube? Yes, I could have done that, but I just wanted to do the repairs because I like doing stuff around the house, especially when there's not a whole lot for me to do. So as soon as there's a broken pipe or a light switch that isn't working, or in this case a bicycle tire that's punctured, I like to get in there and get my hands on. But once again, thank you so much. And as you know, my next project is going to be my hydroponic garden that I'm on, and I'm still so very happy and pleased with the growth of especially these tomatoes, and I'm going to be transplanting them soon, as I told you. But again, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me know if you learned anything from the bike, or if you've ever fixed a bike before, and how long it took you, and how much was the cost. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Until then, so long.